Happy time zone, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Welcome back to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Great to have you with us this super Sunday. Today we are continuing our coverage of the Link to the Past No Major Glitches League with this round 4 Light World match between Shadyforce and Spleebie. This is going to be an exciting match. I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure you are. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up and toss it over to our commentators today. Damn it. And Clear Mouse.
No, we're all good. Hi, Eric. How's it going?
Yo, I'm doing great. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much, by the way, for the intro, Psychonauts. I am so excited, Ari. First off, this is actually going to be a really good race. We've got Spleebie versus Shady. Just actually looked up their PBs. They are a 126.47 and 126.49, literally right next to each other on leaderboards. Number 71, 72, and number 73. So 2 seconds separating their PBs. So it should be actually a very, very close race.
Yeah, not only are they close, like, you can just imagine both of them being able to PB on any given run, including this one. Of course, I bet they don't really want to be on PB pace because race nerfs and PB nerfs combined make for some really nasty tonic. But it can happen. We've seen a couple of race PBs this tournament so far, I think.
Oh yeah, true.
So yeah, if it's in this one, it's a pretty important match to begin with, like considering Shady's full name.
Yes.
I bet either you or Fox in chat can explain what's going on with that.
Yeah. So, right. So, kind of as part of the NMG League, so technically, it is the tournament format is 4 weeks of Swiss, right? So we are actually on the final league. Happens to be in this case that both Shady and Spleebie are 3-0, which means that they are undefeated so far. Of course, being in the final week there and being a Swiss, there's technically no, finals. But one of these guys is going to be able to come out with a perfect 4-0 record, and whoever gets that, in this case, gets to decide where to put $25 to the charity of their choice, which Fox in this case has graciously volunteered to do so. So it's actually going to be technically a little bit of money, on the line, just a little bit more pressure per se, and it's definitely going to a really good cause.
Yeah, for sure. It's an awesome initiative from Fox, and yeah, overall this league/tournament has been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna finish off the quote-unquote finals with a bang.
Yeah, right, and I don't know if they scheduled this intentionally. I do know, of course, that Shady, is in like the UK area, in Europe. Spleebie is in the United States. So there is at least going to be a 5-hour difference. But I think Spleebie tends to maybe stream more, on like the late night side. So certainly quite a bit of time difference between them. And so maybe this is going to be the only real times that they were available. It happens to be in this case that they're also the very last race of the Light World division. So quite fitting in this case to be kind of towards the end, the tail end of the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And we're off, and I'm ready for a super close race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the first 2 splits, for the people who watched a couple more races, I'm sure that we don't get to see too much divergence. I guess it will be from like the Desert Boss Lamo onwards, but we're probably going to see somewhat similar strats. I have not watched a lot of Spleebie lately, so I don't know like how updated his strats are, or like if he does a lot of optimized things compared to like Shady, who's usually a little bit more of a conservative player, tries to play it safe but consistent. Just going to see like the different strats side by side is going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's actually Unfortunately, I also don't think I get to catch too much of both Spleebie and Shady when it comes to NMG. NMG practice sessions. So there's going to be, I think, right, and as you mentioned, like, for these 2 splits, at least upcoming, it's not going to be probably too much more divergent. You're going to see a lot of cardinal D-pad movements, just because we don't really have any other tools to be using at our disposal. And so movement, at least fast movement is going to be somewhat limited. Of course, we do in this case encounter quite a bit of guards because I guess technically we are the intruders. If you ever end up taking any time to read the signs, that's kind of posted outside the castle, you will actually see that technically our face is also plastered as a wanted poster. And so I think people are kind of maybe a bit wary of us and maybe wanting to turn us in to the proper authorities. And so if we're going to take them out, there's going to be probably a little bit of enemy reading and RNG manipulation here too.
Yeah, definitely. Reacting to RNG is, I would say, like almost half of the game. It's so much like learning how to move Link properly in a lot of different situations, and the other half is just like seeing what enemies do and properly reacting to it. And especially in Escape, it's it's so many very small time losses that just add up. And sometimes you get really good RNG and you could just like not have to care about it. Here we see another big strat difference as well. Spleebie going for the slightly optimal 8/, but which is a lot harder than Shady's 1-pot 4/. And yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like actually Spleebie missed the initial boomerang throw, so it is going to be technically faster for you to boomerang. And a good thing. Okay, so Spleebie's also going to give us a small map check to make sure that he, in fact, does know the way back out of the prison. Very important, of course, to always have an escape plan. Especially when you're on an escort mission and you need to get both parties into a safe location.
Yeah, it's very easy to just mash a little bit too hard, absent-mindedly, look at chat or something, and then it was already over. There's a couple of points where that can happen, where either you map or shoot a bow, shoot a couple of arrows. It's like it's like a 2 or 3 second time loss. It's probably not gonna determine the race, but it kind of sets the tone already for Escape, where the margins are already very small.
Yeah, and this of course being the first split of the race, the speed run, as you mentioned, setting the tone, both in terms of I guess actual physical time wise, right? Also could be a little bit of mental, right? Because it's technically supposed to be the sequence that you've probably done the most amount of times. Whether or not you're a frequent resetter, Escape is probably one of the most frequently executed splits, and if you're getting small time losses, as you said, right? Clink here, map check there, a little bump, damage boosting the other direction. These things, while can add up both time-wise, but also, I hope you're not thinking oh my gosh, is this going to happen for the rest of the race? Is this going to be the pace that I'm setting for myself? Certainly could be a little bit more, could be certainly a bit more distracting.
Yeah, for sure. It's very hard to mentally reset yourself during the split itself. Usually after a split, it's okay, next split, I'm gonna do this really well. We're gonna just forget about the previous time loss. But in the split itself, I find it pretty hard to just be okay, just focus on the coming rooms. But that's really what you need to do in a race situation, because it's very easy to get into your own head.
Yeah, and of course, and for what it's worth, right, it's also, it's much easier to kind of say, just focus, right, versus, again, as you mentioned, right, during the middle of the run while you're actually physically playing the game, right, it's just a very difficult to kind of get out of that, in the moment mindset, right, and kind of take a step back.
Yeah, Shady here. Oh, missing the key. So both of them getting the Seattle key red. Both of them missing the first two.
Yeah, so well, it's gonna be quite a bit of sync. Although I will say that Shady did get a little bit luckier in that he did get a 5 rupee drop. So at least he doesn't worry about money for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Spleebie got one as well. So
yeah,
right now,
geez, these rats, being very friendly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it does look like the major time loss was the map check. For the rest, it seems like the escape was very similar. Wow, shadyforce getting bopped by that rat. That's unfortunate.
Gosh.
Spleebie getting the red frames though, so he's going to save a little bit of time with that. So
yeah,
looks like a 5-second difference so far. Spleebie's 602 escape is a little bit offset by the fact that he got the red frames, so he's going to save about a second with that in the Eastern split.
Yeah, we actually can see a very nice demonstration between, getting red frames and almost a side-by-side comparison for text boxes. Oh, Spleebie, man, with even more time saved, chest turn on the same chest. I think, Spleebie is unstoppable at this point. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, this is going to be a determining factor, for sure. Yeah, Eastern is probably going to be a little bit more of the same. on the overworld, it's definitely a lot of reacting to RNG from the Octoroks. In the Eastern, like the first, I would say 3/4 is pretty straightforward, and it's like mostly the back with the Zelda Gamer Room, and where you need to react to RNG very well.
Yeah, and also it's actually a good point you mentioned. So part of the reason, of course, that people, especially in this case, Spleebie and Shady, picking up the sand cart, the back quarter of Eastern Palace is actually one of those places where potentially Sandcart could come into play. Not only, of course, you mentioned you have to react properly to the RNG, but also, if you don't react properly, the Igors can do 1 heart of damage apiece. And, well, they also do move pretty quickly. You can actually lose quite a bit of health very unexpectedly, and it certainly has not been the first time, even in this tournament, I think, that has, in this case, taken, runners have been victims, of, in this case, like, the ZSGR room, or, the double readies, and unfortunately don't get to face Armos the first time around.
Yeah, Eastern is quite a bit more dangerous, because you're gonna do a damage boost, which takes off at least 1.5 hearts, depending on how well you execute it. And then the back has the Igors, which do like a full heart of damage. There's a couple of anti-fairies that, if you're too fast or just a bit too slow, can do a lot of damage. It's rough, so that's why usually in races you see people grabbing Sank Heart just to have that extra heart of buffer, which can be very, very necessary, because if you make one slip up, and it's very easy to do if you're just a little bit more shaky than you usually are, just a mistimed arrow or something, and you run face first into an Igor, you don't want to lose 1.5 minutes in a race situation. It's rough.
Yeah, no, and also, right, you bring up the fact that this is in fact indeed a race setting, right? Oh man, Shady's also gonna get a nice big fat 20 rupees. Oh,
let's go.
Yeah, that's gonna be so nice.
And the magic drop.
Oh wow, dude! I mean, Shady's just saving time left and right, saving refill frames, and the boss. Oh man, Speedie's also getting some pretty rich as well.
Yeah, this is they're not gonna have to worry about rupees.
Yeah, they can, like, how many can they skip how many blues? I'm assuming they're gonna probably still get all the red ones, or.
I saw that one, Spleebie. Good try. So in order to skip a red, you need 44 rupees.
Okay.
But you're not gonna grab 4 blues in order to skip a red. That's not worth it. Like, sometimes you would grab 3 blues in order to skip a red, so they would need another 5 drop for that. Spleebie. No.
Spleebie?
Oh. Okay.
What?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, maybe he forgot which arrows he wanted to go for. No worries. It's okay. Maybe he was thinking this was pot shuffle. He wasn't quite sure of which pots had the arrows initially. But good thing in this case that he ended up finding them, and we're gonna go straight back to Armos. No problem.
Yeah, it's all good. Is this gonna be another one of those? Okay, let's mental reset after this.
Yep.
And,
exactly.
We're just gonna play catch up. Just become Terminator. Just catching up to Shady.
Yeah, exactly. And this is Light World, right? Even this might seem like something that is quote unquote off off road, potentially off script. Definitely not going to be too big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, right? Lots of game left to play. Oh man, Spleebie's already getting us some nice heartbeat of encouragement going into Armos.
Shout out to Sankheart, that's what it's for.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, don't play too scared though. That can also. Okay, but we got through the dungeon. Only need to do Armos now. Like, it's usually not a boss where you'll die unless you try to play like really aggressively after something went wrong. But this looks like the 2 textbook Armos fights, an extra arrow for the wall.
I think Spleebie just wanted to keep parity with Shady. In this case, 7 arrows for Shady, 7 arrows for Spleebie. All good.
Yeah, but like Shady is on 36 rupees right now, so that means that you can grab 2 blues. I don't know what strat Shady does with regards to 3 rupees. Like, maybe he does bird shot, maybe he does pickle shot. I'm not exactly sure. But he's gonna be like almost guaranteed to skip a red rupee, which is
wow, that is amazing. Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen that all tournament, honestly. I don't remember the last time I've seen a runner this rich, basically, coming out of Eastern.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. Like, sometimes you just get a couple of drops on the way, but usually you're just gonna be like 25 or 30. But yeah, this is bountiful. Oh shit, he missed a spin speed and is just resorting to that. This is a really rough. This is like the one screen where you really want spin speed. So you're gonna see Spleebie catch up quite a bit over the course of just this screen. Just the amount of dashes you don't have to do is pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah, but speaking about, we have boots now. We can do the spin speed, which is like a minor glitch that you saw on Spleebie's side. It's pretty tricky or pretty finicky at times to get. So retrying it like does cost a little bit of time, but on like screens like right outside of Eastern is one where you definitely want to go get it. Okay, you see Shady going for the unholy spin speed, what do we call it? Yeah, it doesn't save that much time, but it does feel good, and that's sometimes that's all that matters.
Yeah, and in the fact that Shady also missed kind of like the first spin speed out of Eastern, right? Also could actually be a morale boost, right? You actually mentioned maybe getting out of escape, for example, with like a nick there and a ding there, right? Actually could set some mental pace for yourself. Hopefully it's not gonna be the thing. And maybe Shady just kind of wanted to make up his kind of reset, right? Saying like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed the first spin speed. But in this case, I'm still capable of getting the spin speed, and he demonstrated that with one going into the library.
Yeah, for sure. That's yeah. Again, mental is a huge part of speedrunning, and being able to just give yourself a confidence boost to just go for it again anyway is a huge part.
I also do, of course, appreciate the dashes that both Spleebie and Shady are also taking. Always basically make sure the dashes are quote unquote in this case like clean. Don't actually have to run across like the tall grass, and that is definitely something that can definitely slow us down.
Yeah, dashing lines are very important. This game has been highly optimized over the course of the years, so trying to minimize dashing through tall grass, maximizing slope dashes, because like on a slope you move like both vertically and horizontally faster combined than you would if you just did 2 cardinal dashes. So
it is actually very interesting, like the game mechanics in terms of like movement and how fast you can go. And certainly, yeah, and as you mentioned, has been very optimized throughout the years. People have figured out what is the fastest, and all of these kind of like little things, right? They because how many screens do we go through? Like 500, 600 something throughout the game.
500 something.
Yeah, I mean, like you save like a frame, 5 frames, 10 frames per screen. Like that is a lot of seconds over the course of the game.
Yeah,
and they're more or less like free, right? Or they're like very easy to get.
Yeah.
Easy enough, maybe.
I mean, maybe like it's hard to optimize everything. It's just there's so many screens that you need to learn, and very hard to like stay focused for that long. So it's very easy to just drop a couple frames everywhere. Like there are a couple of like what do you call them? Like theory tasks, so like humans playing and then splicing every room together, and the difference between that and just an average run is like so big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just so hard to play optimally for even a split. And
wow.
It's like it's still like almost like 10 seconds difference per split.
That's nuts, actually, because like the average split is like, I don't know, like 5 to 6, maybe 7 minutes, something like that. That is a lot of time. Yeah, race wise though, so far it seems like Spleebie has caught up most of the difference just by the spin speed that he hit outside of Eastern. Oh, speaking of more spin speeds, Shady opting to not get the spin speed outside of Desert, but in this case Spleebie actually using the pause buffer, of course, to his advantage to make sure he does not fall off the ledge. Actually does being able to gain a little bit of time.
And yeah, the gap is closing. Oh, there was another red drop!
Oh my gosh, dude!
That
what is?
That would have been hilarious.
Oh my gosh, and of course those kind of like doors that kind of suck you in. Typically you could really see that probably in Hera coming up for the next dungeon, but yeah, when especially there's like a 20 rupee that you would really like, but the door's already sucked you through. It's unfortunate we have to kind of leave it behind.
Yeah, any percent or NMG is not a category where you really want that money per se. Like at this point, like both of them are like living on luxury money already.
Yeah, of course, right.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter that much, but it's just, it would have been hilarious to see someone on 50 plus rupees.
Yeah, coming out of desert.
Yeah.
Alright, speaking of our best boss, of course, the entire game, at least in the light world, we're seeing Shady have an earlier start on Landmos. This is where we want 4 arrows per worm in this case, and of course that's going to be the fastest way, or that does the most damage.
Both of them getting somewhat rough RNG. I think if that arrow had hit, Spleebie would have gotten the free cycle, but I think both... Oh no, never mind. Oh, that's such an unfortunate
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, just needed an extra slash as well. So, a 4 cycle on Shady's side looks like a early 5 on Spleebie's side. So Shady just extending his lead just a little bit more. Also saving a little bit of time over his PB. And Spleebie saves a lot of time over his PB. I'm not sure what happened there in his desert.
Maybe, unfortunately, didn't maybe have like a great landmos.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, and of course, right, you mentioned in this case about RNG, of course, these are 2 separate games that the runners are, are playing, like, they're playing basically their own individual games, right, so the patterns are not going to be the same, even though we have seen actually quite a bit of similarities, right, for example, for, like, the Ruby drops, but, like, in terms of RNG, right, we actually saw Spleebie get a couple of short hops. That is something that you just can't control, unfortunately. So sometimes, Lambos are going to behave for you. They'll stay in the air a little bit longer so you can actually get some more arrows in them. Sometimes, they just want to say hello, take a peek, and then say goodbye.
Yeah, for sure. And there's going to be a lot more RNG later on in the run. Spleebie, be careful. Okay, he made it. That's all that matters.
Phew. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, and of course, in this case, Shady did get into the portal a little bit cleaner. And, just kind of we saw that, as a demonstration, a kind of a contrast on Spleebie's side, right? You don't have quite the right momentum, like the upwards momentum. You are gonna have to, in this case, swim a little bit off to the side and kind of get yourself back up to, the top of the portal. So in this case, just use a little bit more extra time.
Yeah, you don't want to linger around that portal for too long because the Zoras that spawn around it, their aim is always better than you want it to be.
Yeah, talk about Terminators, right? Like, I think their eyes are actually probably lasers, like, just focused on you.
Yeah.
And those fireballs just come straight at you.
Alright, Shady managed to get past the dead rocks. Now he needs to be careful of the boulders that drop down. Sometimes you can't help getting hit. We'll see what happens here. Okay, it seems somewhat friendly. Okay, he gets through. So, yeah, just getting past Death Mountain with, like, 5 or 6 hearts is such a huge boon. That means you don't have to worry that much in the Tower of Hera itself. Spleebie did walk into it. Oh, he doesn't go for a dash there. He probably could have, but it just decides to play it a bit safer.
Yeah. But as you also mentioned, right, going into Hera, also, not basically getting hit at all, while they have spin speed state is actually pretty nice. That means RNG, it certainly did behave a bit. But yeah, going into Hera with 5 and 6 hearts is, very, very comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, especially after Spleebie moved off the quick warp, I think. But, yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah,
I don't know if he was trying to readjust himself, because it looked like, he stopped, right? And then he moved, and then he mirrored. I don't know if he was trying to maybe, like, he didn't think that he had it, and he was trying to readjust himself.
Yeah, very possible. Oh, someone just menu on Shady side?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's... that's going to add up, but still a somewhat comfortable lead. But yeah, until Aga, we don't know how the race is gonna look. So
yeah,
I guess for now these runners are just trying to create as much of a buffer, try to close the gap, maybe just even try to run against our PB and try to get as much ahead as possible.
Oh, I do enjoy the Spleebie, basically, for the auto scroller part of the game, giving us a little bit more entertainment. If you end up picking up, a pot, basically touching the stairs, in this case, you get super speed.
I bet Yoho would be so happy
Yeah.
to see this. Nice torches on Shady's side. Yeah, I mean it's just a room difference despite everything that happens. So it's looking to be a really exciting read.
Yeah. Actually, looks like Spleebie also did looks like give up another heart to, I guess, like it was like the gatekeeper or something like that. Shady, maybe that extra menu kind of helped him. Whether or not it did, he is still on full health going up. So certainly don't imagine either of them hitting the switch just to make sure they have extra safety hearts. They are going to have to spend 1 heart, probably saving a little bit of time doing like the Hera bomb jump over here. But with probably 5 more hearts, 4 more heart hits in this case to Moldorm, they should be good. They should be good.
He even just picked up the heart even though he didn't need it. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was high enough, but he made it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's also a good point, man. I mean, it's just you just don't see anyone coming into the top of the Hera with full health. Normally, like the heart refill will actually give you something in return, but not for Shady.
All right, this is a huge gatekeeper of the run, Moldorm. It's a semi-predictable fight, but there's still a lot of RNG that you need to read, and it's just going to be a frustrating boss for very long.
Yeah, big emphasis on semi, not the predictable part.
Okay, Shady went for a couple of frame rolls there, but didn't get hit. So I mean, sometimes you just got to go for it. But yeah, very nice Moldorm on Shady's side. That was a weird bounce on Spleebie's side.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's
Everything's
Moldorm.
good. Oh yeah.
Nothing went bad. Nothing went wrong. It's all good.
Yeah, that's right. And this is why you have a little bit of extra health, right? Sank heart not specifically needed, but again, extra health, just in case. In this case, Moldorm decides to give you a little hug or a little bump. You actually can see in this case that it can actually knock you quite far. Not far enough in this case for Spleebie to get knocked off of the platform because there are no guardrails, but just in case, right? You have that extra buffer.
Yeah, it's like health, it's just as much. Oh, interesting arrow pick on the Shady side. Just grabbing some arrows for safety, I guess.
Yeah, you don't normally see that unless you have like under 8. Is that right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think under 8. Yeah, you'd be right with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Bird shot here.
Looks like no. Okay. Yeah. He's gonna probably looks like he's gonna go for the bird shot, not the pickle shots.
I'll probably see the same from Spleebie here. Yeah. He does lose his arrow drop though, so he's gonna need to pick up a few more pots in the Dark World, but that's not gonna be too much of a time loss. It's really just like a min-maxing thing that you really want that arrow drop, but it's very much convenience rather than necessity.
Yeah, and right, and especially for probably like a race setting. Again, this isn't probably one of those. Maybe nerves, pressure a little bit. Added on. Maybe just in this case, maybe not stray too far from kind of like what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of being comfortable, this is actually where all of our, money talk is, personal finance, hustling has actually going to be, literally paying off. We actually did see that Spleebie and Shady picked up at least their first set of rupees, gonna basically pick up the rest of their fortune that also happens to grow on trees, and we are going to take our, in this case, hard-earned and inherited money, and basically make full use of it in the Dark Worlds.
Yeah, we need 110 rupees when entering. So it's in order to enter pod. We're gonna get a couple here. There's a couple of guaranteed rupees in Agatara as well. So we should be a-okay at that point.
Yeah, also of course, right, in order to get all of these true rupees, did Spleebie not kill something? I must have missed the another kill? Or he didn't kill?
I'm not sure what happened there.
Because those were definitely green and he didn't get hits.
It could be that maybe he killed one of the birds off screen when entering Lost Woods. That he just was a bit too low on the screen, and that the bird died off screen. Then it doesn't count as a kill. It's very frustrating.
Oh man, that is unfortunate. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't catch which 4 he killed. So.
Oh no! Oh no! That is the danger, unfortunately. So right, so what Spleebie was trying to do is he was trying to, in this case, kill a couple more enemies. But the important part is he doesn't get hit. And there is another tree, basically right next to like the escape uncle tunnel, that can also get you, another tree pull, and that's what Spleebie is going for. But unfortunately, the Master Sword, the Sword of Evil's Bane, is still apparently not strong enough to one-shot the blue guards. And so because Spleebie got hit, he is going to probably, my guess, unless he doesn't get hit in Castle Tower, he'll probably go and get like Saha rupees. Never mind. He's gonna probably go get Saha rupees after this before going to pod.
Yeah, he was immediately going for the Saha rupees because he didn't actually pull the tree outside anyway.
Oh right,
so
right.
He didn't actually reset the hit.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. I forgot. She actually had to go pull the tree first.
But yeah, that's really rough. We'll have to ask what actually happened with regards to the first tree pull, but
yeah. But you know, Spleebie is saving time. He got the chest turn. Actually, a somewhat more difficult chest turn than maybe anticipated for the second chest, the second key in Castle Tower. So he's making up some time already.
Yeah, and of course we still have the Great Equalizer coming up. Just a few minutes. Yeah, Spleebie has definitely had some unfortunate going-ons this run so far. We'll have to see how he's gonna fare in the comfy Dark World that's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Every Dark World is comfortable. Although, so I didn't quite catch it on Shady's side, but I believe he did enter Aga Tower with sword beams. I'm gonna assume that in this case, he did preserve the fairy pack, and then in that he killed the 2 blue guards in the second room.
I believe so.
I don't think I saw any prize packs. Now, Spleebie, unfortunately, because he got hit, he did not have sword beams, but I also believe that he also killed the dashing blue guards. So I think we should be good there. Yeah.
Yeah, Spleebie does need to be careful with his arrows in Palace of Darkness. You're gonna need 6. It's very possible that he's going to get an arrow drop from the mimics, but otherwise he'll have to pick up one of the paths in the mimics room in order to actually get past the huge statue that you need to shoot.
Yeah. And I guess like we can, mimic clip. No. Actually, is mimic clipping even allowed in NMG? I guess I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it actually works in that room though.
Okay. Didn't even think about it before, but I mean, like, you definitely want arrows for speed.
Because I think it has to do with like the wall that hasn't moved yet.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see it.
Yeah. Like Chad's saying, Shady has not had a lot of luck with regards to blue balls in this league so far.
Yeah,
so maybe this can be Aga's redemption story.
Oh, that could be. All right.
Maybe not.
I certainly do think that Spleebie has actually gotten a good number of blue balls. Although it looks like Shady's blue balls are now coming in. Yeah, but I think... Oh my gosh, that was 3 in a row for Shady, sorry. But yeah, I don't remember the exact number, but it was something like 26 across like 3 games or something like that. It was definitely in the 20s. It was very, very high.
Yeah. It might have been 22. Maybe it was like 7, 8, 7 or something. But it wasn't pretty. But Shady got 4, I think. So, no, that's probably more, actually. No, he splits... early in Aga. I don't remember. Okay. 4 for Shady, 5 for Spleebie. Excellent. Okay. Well, at least like the things didn't change too much with regards to Aga RNG. It does kind of dash the hopes of any chance of PBing for Shady, I feel. Like he was a little bit ahead of his balanced PB going into Aga, but yeah. 4 blue balls is quite a bit, but maybe he has a killer Dark World, who knows? But the really hard part of the game starts right here. Palace of Darkness is, in a way, it's a pretty straightforward dungeon. Lots of back and forth with mirroring and all that. But like one pretty hard trick to do well, and then quite some RNG factors in the back of the dungeon. So we'll have to see how the mix of execution and RNG is going to go.
Yeah, and and thank goodness for the mirror, by the way. The Palace of Darkness routing, it can actually be, quite tedious if you didn't have some sort of item or like mechanism in order to kind of, I guess like restart the dungeon, right? Grab one item because you're already pretty buried. All the keys are pretty scattered, and so to be able to kind of navigate it and basically get to go back to I guess the beginning and have a shorter route is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Spleebie still needs to get the rest of his rupees right here.
Oh, right. That's right. We had to go through all that fiasco in order to basically be unpleasantly surprised with only green rupees instead of the red rupees. That is like a 20x difference. So yeah, Spleebie, of course, is going to have to, in this case, grab the original... Oh no, it looks like he mirrored a little bit too high. But yeah,
when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, unfortunately. No hammer, unfortunately, because we can't get, in this case, the hammer's gonna come here in pod, but that means we can't actually do the like hammer dashing in order to get through the pots and bonk open the door or the bombable wall.
The amount of chest turns on Spleebie's side.
Yeah, I am very
amazing.
impressed. Yeah, this is gonna be where he gains all the time back, basically in his splits.
Shady on his way to the big key, then he'll be going to the big chest for the hammer. We're gonna see a very precise bomb jump where you need to stand on a precise vertical pixel, place a bomb to the right, and you drop a second bomb in order to throw over the rails to bomb open a wall. And then you need to stand on another precise vertical pixel in order to get boosted precisely horizontally in order to clip through the rail. So it's definitely amazing to see it done well. So let's go Shady.
Yeah. Also, it is worth pointing out that, it's certainly not been the first time, potentially, where, let's say, a runner has forgotten the big key before going to the big chest. So I'm very proud, in this case, for Shady to be able to remember that. It's always not a really good feeling when you think that you got the big key, and then you come over here, and then you get this really nice, well, not so nice text box saying, something is missing. Is it the big key? But Shady actually also did a very nice job on the hammer jump, too.
Yeah, very nice. One last small key of the dungeon, and then we're gonna go straight to Helmasaur. Couple of tight execution rooms coming up still. And that Bari right there is definitely a huge problem as well. Sometimes
that
just
guy
floats
can
in the
be
way.
a jerk. And every single Bari, right? Like, they know exactly when to electrocute you because it's like they look also harmless, and then oh my god,
It's sometimes lucky.
I mean, gosh, it's just like you literally watch and he just electrocutes you at the worst possible time. But yeah, Spleebie managed to get through. Oh man,
There's
Shady
getting another
also,
arrow
yeah,
drop.
even get the arrow drop too. Oh no! Oh no!
Alright, that's a rough hit because now we're gonna need a couple of extra menus in order to actually hit the switch in the upcoming room. Usually you sword beam the switch, but yeah, if you don't have full hearts, you don't have sword beams, which means that you're gonna have to use like either an arrow or the boomerang. So that's going to the hammer, then to the boomerang, and back to the hammer. That's a super nice swag boom, though.
Oh heck yeah!
All dungeons practice paying off.
Look at the jeez. I also didn't know. Unfortunately, Spleebie took a hit. I don't know if it was going to be enough to knock him off the platform or anything like that. I don't know if it's possible, but it certainly looked very close. Yeah, nice turtles.
Like extra hearts right there.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Look at that statue move on Spleebie's side. So smooth.
Helmasaur, definitely one of the gatekeepers. Like Moldorm, just really rough for beginner/intermediate players, just because of how much sheer damage Helma does. Luckily, we have this semi-new strat called Spin Speed Helma, where we found out that that spin speed state not extends but displaces the hammer hitbox. So you don't need to hold your sword out in order to hit Helma with the hammer.
Yeah.
And that makes the fight a lot more comfortable just because of the maneuverability that you have.
Yeah, and of course, being able to, use, in this case, like hammer level damage, like temper sword damage to hit phase 2. Again, this is true for all bosses. Like the faster you can take them down, the safer the fight is. It's gonna be like twice as fast, right? You only need 4, hammers or hits in this case versus like the 8 for Master Sword.
Yeah, very nice fight. Probably gonna see the same on Spleebie's side.
Yeah, and actually, for what it's worth, I think Shady ended up only actually going into Helmasaur with only 6 hearts, and of course that is actually part of the reason why people like having the same card kind of demonstrated on Spleebie's side is that, well, whenever Helmasaur hits you, it is 2 hearts of damage, and so Spleebie is actually going to have is having 1 extra hit's worth of buffer if in case something terrible happens. But Spleebie is wow, what a nice fight on Spleebie's side. Oh my gosh, dude! Talk about damage and health. Man, I think the overworld enemies are just not having it with Shady.
Yeah, there's a couple of lotteries in the game where you really don't want to hit the lotteries. Sometimes you just try to do the optimal dashes and then the enemy just jumps on you, where you can't really influence it without like just eating a bunch of time loss by playing it safe. So you kind of have to weigh whether or not you just want to do the optimal thing and just risk a chance of getting hit. In this split, it's not as bad. In the Ice Palace split, like you really want to keep beams, so it's a little bit riskier there to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a rite of passage to just get jumped by that rope a couple of times.
Oh, rite of passage. Yeah, it's like the traditional, I guess, like entryway into the speed run, right? You're not a real speed runner until you get hit by one of those things.
Yeah, and it's like there's the first one, there's the second one, and then like there's another one like a bit further into the screen, like when you dash to the right, and even that one can jump you. And it's sometimes like until you've gotten hit by all 3, it's like yeah. That's when you're like, yeah, I've run this game too much.
Yeah. Alright, though, it looks like Spleebie, maybe some of his bad luck, just kind of happened earlier on. It looks like he at least didn't get lottoed, at least this time around. And I guess for what it's worth, him and both him and Shady running from the murder dactyl, it does do 3 hearts damage, but it is supposed to look that close in this case if you do it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as bad as it seems until you get hit and you're like, why did I get hit there?
Exactly.
Yeah, we kind of missed it on Shady's side, but he got the shovel, got the flute, did the second most important spin speed, I guess, past the fastest red guard in the game. And now Shady's activating his flute, gonna make his way into the back of Kakariko, into the Dark World portal here. Like this one, as a kid, I actually didn't realize you could just go into the Dark World like this. Like I always thought that you needed the mids. I never just it never clicked for me.
Well, I mean, it's like you go up the screen, you're trying to explore different things, and you see this like giant rock that you can't lift, and you're just like, oh, okay, I guess I can't actually, get there. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. A little bit of unfortunate Bongo Shady's side, but managed to get his way into the Dark World. And then we're right outside of Thieves.
Yeah, and we actually see that Shady in this case is making the correct decision. We did have the option of either going north of Skull Woods, or in this case we can go south, or in this case west, to a Village of Outcast area. And of course, again, if we want a bit more firepower, this is definitely the way to go. It is technically in the 4th crystal dungeon, chronologically, in the game, so you're not expected to do this before Skull Woods, but, the big prize in Thieves Town is going to be the myths, which is going to unlock the Smith, which is going to be unlocking our next sword upgrade. So if we can get a Tempered Sword for Mothula and the rest of the game, we're all definitely for it.
Spleebie just going on a rampage and killing all the guards in the Three Musketeers screen.
It's like, forget this.
But yeah, the reason we do this dungeon order is so we can get an earlier access to the Tempered Sword, which is very important to kill the bosses of the 2nd and 3rd dungeon faster.
Yeah, kind of also just demonstrated, for example, on Helmasaur, right? We rather much have Tempered Sword, or in this case, Hammer level damage, in order to basically take down the boss twice as fast. Just like Helmasaur, which Master Sword only needed 8 hits. Mothula also needs 8 hits with the Master Sword, but only 4 with the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, and let's not even mention Argus. Like, that fight with the Master Sword is just a huge pain.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You can theoretically do the same way. Like with hook dashing and doing a quick kill with the Master Sword, but it's so much harder than it is with Tempered Sword. But yeah, ironically, the dungeon, the boss of this dungeon, it doesn't matter what kind of weapon you have. You're gonna need 9 hits regardless. So it's very funny that it just works out that way.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
fight is predictable no matter what.
Yeah, I think also, Spleebie came into Thieves Town with full health, and this is part of maybe the reason why we actually want, just a little bit of health buffer, because, well, we are, again, 4th Crystal Dungeon chronologically. Not maybe quite the most dangerous place, but everything here does basically 1 to 2 hearts of damage, and so, bad things can happen. They didn't. Spleebie actually made a very nice recovery on the Hellway. But you definitely don't kind of want to get to a point where suddenly you're going into the blind fight with maybe only like 1 or 2 hearts of life.
Yeah, and I think over the course of their Link to the Past career, both these runners have just done 1-hit KO blind multiples, if not dozens of times. So they're probably like semi-confident, but in like a direct NMG race situation, it always feels very different. But I think both Shady and Spleebie have like a rando background before they actually started NMG. I know Spleebie has like a couple of old PBs, and then just this year started like dipping deep into the sub 130 range, even though Shady's had like a 127 for a while now, and then recently got it 126. But they've just been playing like a lot of rando and stuff on the side. I think
that's true.
Maybe Spleebie has some like RNG categories as well.
Yeah, well, right. And I think like Spleebie is definitely a very big into like no logic or a lot of like glitch modes as well. So yeah, it's definitely seeing definitely a lot of rando on his side. Oh, that was a fast blind kill on Shady's side.
Yeah, no worries at all. Still a lot of health. Seems like it was pretty solid. Oh, that's interesting. I thought he did the 2 slashes fine. And then
yeah, it also did look like it was supposed to be, I guess, like, he delayed himself enough. But, I guess that's what happens with Baris. Baris never want to behave, in this case, when you actually want them to.
Yeah, this game. It's weird, it's hard. Sometimes you feel like you do things fine, it just barely doesn't work out. But yeah, I feel that like at least this split, it's been pretty even. Oh, okay.
We're all good. We're all good. I don't know if he intended to do that spin at the very end. Like maybe he tried to sort of for too long. Certainly did get a little bit off script at the very end, but everything is fine. Got plenty of health. He just kind of blind. Just took a couple of extra seconds to move on the upper right hand corner instead. But we're all good.
And yeah, we survived. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very easy to like release your sword button just a little bit too early after you poked, and then like when your sword is charged, you just like do the poke and then a spin.
Yeah.
Instead of just like completing the poke and then re-slashing. It's a little tight at times.
Yeah, but I mean, like, these are definitely not considered, like, major disasters at all. Again, just like a couple second time loss. And, like, probably, the most important part is that it didn't go so off kilter that, Spleebie, had to, let's say, restart the blind fight. And it's definitely, much, much harder if you have to start it again, and basically start at the bottom versus the top.
Yeah. Like, a blind death is very, very punishing.
Shady though, yeah. Alright, so looks like both Shady and Spleebie has claimed at least the first of their 300 rupees that they're going to need for the rest of the game in terms of money. Shady already has demonstrated that it does cost, in fact, 10 rupees to go purchase our Tempered Sword versus the, I guess, 500 that we have to go buy for, the flippers. But in this case now we have, all of the offense we need for the rest of the game. It's going to be much more comfortable, as we're going to probably see it put into action here in Skullwoods.
Yeah, this is, instead of being like a glass paper towel, now we're like an actual glass cannon.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Oh.
In Link to the Past, you die pretty easily, but like especially after Thief's Stone, you just kill everything in just a couple of hits as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess right, I guess like Thief's Town also, I guess, and maybe with part of the things in Skullwoods is that still kind of designed the fact that you are intended to have Master Sword. Kind of see in this case that most things don't die on one hit to Master Sword, but of course with Tempered, if you ever go back, right, trying to kill like the Zyzacs, like the Crickets, they all in this case die to Tempered versus not Master.
For sure.
Alright, Spleebie already winning. He got the Fin Stash. That is the best part of the split.
Yeah, it's always a sign of asserting dominance.
Alright,
and here we see the second to last bomb jump of the game, in order to get the Fire Rod.
I don't think I realized it was the second to last bomb jump, right? I guess we see them so often, but I guess the last one is just the Ice Palace one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's four. They're all pretty important. But yeah, the IPPJ, the last one, is definitely like the most relevant one.
Yeah, and right, and I guess like for like in terms of like time save, right, and like routing and stuff, like the bomb jump like class of tricks in this case to learn is like the Hera bomb jump, right, like the hammer jump, the Ice Palace bomb jump one, like those save like minutes of time, right, in order to be able to like if you can execute them properly.
There's this comparison video of like hammer jump for like with like 30 or 40 pauses compared to just going into the basement. And then grabbing a key, getting rupees, and then just going through the through the dark maze. And I think it's like around 40-50 seconds difference.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
just goes to show you, it just goes to show you, where in this case, like, even if you don't quite line yourself up right, like the very first time after you switch over to like the bombs or something like that, you can have so many adjustments basically with the menu. Oh my gosh, Shady! Holy frick!
Yeah, like I said, glass cannon.
Oh my gosh.
Was a little sketchy. I thought one of the slashes hit, and then he just like Moth didn't move. I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, solid Skullwoods though. That was... If we just ignore the 2 hits that he took, it was very clean.
Oh my god. I mean, thank you, Sankart. There's another reason why, we don't tend to see Sankart, kind of showing, I guess, like its effects probably, more often than not, after, let's say, like Palace of Darkness, right? Because, when you're maybe only on like 3 to 4 hearts, 5 to 6, Sankart, being that extra one, right? Your 7th one, your 4th one, tends to show a lot more, impact. But it certainly does not preclude, situations like this happening where you're still in Skullwoods. You've had, 9 hearts total, and you're still only down to 1 heart.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes, especially in splits like these, you just take a few extra hits and you're suddenly down to like 3 hearts or something, and yeah, it goes very quickly.
Talk about not needing any hearts. Spleebie, look at that, 0 spikes moved, absolute 10 out of 10. Awesome job, Spleebie.
Yeah, very solid Skullwoods on his side as well. That was an amazing fight. Yeah, he definitely caught up a little bit in this split, so yeah. Still like a cutscene and a bit behind, but Ray's definitely not over yet.
Oh yeah. I think he may have heard you when you said just time to be like the Terminator, right? He's slowly but surely catching up to Shady. Speaking of potential safety strats, looks like Shady is going to opt to deny the slope dash, and maybe just trying to guarantee himself to not get lotteried by that Ropa. You did mention earlier, right, that this is the Ice Palace split, and it's pretty important to try and keep beams here.
What's the fireball? I've never seen that!
I've never seen that either! Holy cow.
Right, a good reaction, though, just being able to... Sometimes you just need to eat a little bit of time loss in order to avoid disaster. That was one of those scenarios. And even in the face of something new, that's it's very good.
Yeah, it's somewhat actually underrated, right? Because especially given that Shady and Spleebie, a lot of other runners, right? Especially with like a 126 time. Again, you probably run this game a lot, and because in this case, like the route is pretty fixed. You know what you're supposed to be doing, on every room, all right? You probably have a lot of muscle memory, and when you I think you mentioned this at the very beginning of of the race, is that part of this case the game is also just reacting to RNG and kind of like taking the punches as they come. If something unexpected happens and you're not kind of prepared for it, it's so easy to say, oh my gosh, or panic, and then you end up, kind of going off kilter, and then things just go so wrongly. So the fact that Shady did react quite well is definitely a testament to him, to his skill.
Yeah, for sure. Wow,
Speedy, we get quick fish too? Man.
Yeah, that one is a really tight one too. I thought he was aligned with the bush while picking up the rock, and that means the window in order to throw the rock is a lot smaller. So him able to get that is really, really nice.
Yeah, definitely showing some really nice execution, on Spleebie's side. And again, Spleebie's, I think, like Dark World / kind of like mid game has been super solid.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely looks like he got the mental reset that he needed and has been executing very solidly over the course of the last 3 splits. Or even like after getting the Saha rupees even.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah.
Should he get a quick warp, entering ice? We just saw like a little bit of a high five, by the way, entering and leaving Zora's domain. Shady was leaving it while Spleebie was entering it.
Alright, well that just means it's a very close race still, again. So Ice Palace is what, like the 5th dungeon? I think we've done, well no, so we haven't done Swamp yet, but this is kind of one of those dungeons, especially, end game / mid to late end game, where, again, the difficulty level is also boosted a bit. Enemies now tend to probably do 2 to 3 hearts, maybe 4 hearts worth of damage. Very easy to kind of get bamboozled, and then suddenly you're redoing Ice Palace.
Yeah, and this is probably the most punishing split in order to die in. Okay, Spleebie waiting. Oh, nice. Okay, good patience. Yeah, bomb management. Like there's a lot of like tight bomb maneuvers in this split as well. I think Shady is not going to hit the switch here. Yeah, needs to be hitting the switch in the conveyor room now, which is a little bit of time loss.
I was actually surprised that the Baris didn't end up hitting him. It looked actually quite close. I'm glad in this case that Jay didn't have to take any damage. Oh no, man, he missed the Bari though. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh yeah, this is a unfortunate set of rooms so far. Okay, but he managed to get through. Like him being down a heart is like kind of nice, so you don't have beams in the penguin lineup room. Oh, he needs to get the. Okay, okay, this is good. This is something that not a lot of runners do, and it's really good that Shady does it here. Just like in Hammer Jump, you often see runners like some menu in order to like align themselves. And somehow it's really hard for people to do it in IPBJ because they feel it should be a lot easier than it is in Hammer Jump. But like not having like the pride and still going for the menu buffers is like so good in order to not fail IPBJ.
No, that's so good.
Kudos to Shady's there.
No, I mean, and it's certainly not a very, as you said, not a very feels good moment if you end up failing Ice Palace bomb jump.
So, bomb jump on Spleebie's side here. Okay, he gets it. Nice. Okay, no Andy block on Shady's side, and he's gonna enter Cold Stare, which is probably, just one of the harder bosses in order to do without mistakes. Just because if it goes off the rails, it goes off the rails really bad, and then soon they're like out of sight, and you're on the other side of the world.
Yeah, no, exactly. So Shady is dropping down here with 8 hearts. Ideally, he would have 9 to take 2 Cold Stare hits, but 8 hearts. Hopefully, he'll be okay. Nice first phase. He is a 6. Shady is a 6 slasher for life. Very, very nicely done, Shady.
Very nice. No disasters. Rill still on the rails. And we had a couple of issues, but managed to get through Ice Palace just fine. Yeah, Spleebie's next. He's actually almost on gold pace, I feel. Like just a couple seconds off of his gold. That's very nice.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I think for the most part, Ice Palace has actually gone pretty well, for Spleebie. I think he ended up getting a little bit bullied in the, like with the red Baris and such. But I think other than that, like, yeah, Ice Palace has been quite good. All right, looks like Spleebie wants to do a single poke.
Yep, very nice. Textbook.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. We were like, the train just kind of like tilted a little bit, and he was like riding on one set of wheels, and then he just went back. It's all okay.
Yeah, it's all good. He got like 2 of them, right, and then one was kind of exactly as you said, just kind of went off the rails a little bit, but Spleebie managed to track it down.
Yeah, sometimes just like your fight is just a little bit off, and then like the icicle splits in a way that's it splits right where you stand when you finish your spin, and it's a little unfortunate when you can't get the slash in time. But that was still a really solid ice pass on his end, making up even more time. I think both runners do their errands in Mire. So we're gonna not see any like divergence in this split anyway, so that's nice. Not that suddenly the gap is like way wider than it should be. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Spleebie gets Ice Rod in Turtle Rock, so we're gonna be even until Mire.
Okay. But I guess, yeah, as you said, in the near term, though, looks like both runners are going to head over to Swamp Palace. This is, okay, so we'd beaten Dungeon number 1 in order. Then we went out of order to go beat Thieves Town, which is Dungeon number 4. And then we went to Dungeon number 3. Then we went to Dungeon number 5. And now we're going to finally finish up and do Dungeon number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to get our hook shot right here, which we don't actually, need, aside from, like, Swamp and GT. But
I was also, but and some people just feel more comfortable, having the hook shot in their inventory, just like another, arsenal, like in their toolbox that they can use. Did hear, maybe that people aren't necessarily the biggest fan of, spin speed in the game, and maybe they want to use the hook shot as the alternative.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the reason why I do it right now.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? That is fair. Hopefully, new controller soon.
Yeah, that's full. But yeah, that's kind of the big debate when we get Ether. A lot of runners nowadays do it in Swamp, just because getting hit on Death Mountain in a Swamp split doesn't matter as much, because you don't necessarily need beams for anything in order to not lose as much time. Like, it's kind of nice for the first room, but like usually, like, you can get away without beams anyway. Whereas in the Mire split, if you do get hit, you already deboost a lot in Mire. And not having beams for the second room of Mire can cost a lot of time depending on the RNG. So keeping beams is pretty relevant.
Yeah, and right, and because it's also like you actually manage. You also talked about like health actually being a pretty good commodity in Mire, right? Because as you said, you deboost a lot. Mire enemies also do hit quite a bit, so just in case something terrible happens, you do have a little bit of buffer. But also in Swamp, right? This is the second crystal dungeon of the game. We have so Spleebie and never mind, Spleebie just demonstrated that a hit from an enemy doesn't really cost too much, especially given so much health that we have, right? One heart of damage, half a heart of damage, honestly, probably not going to be the big deal if you end up coming in here with one fewer heart.
Looking shady side. Yeah, the damage in Swamp usually is not like a killer thing, but more of a you just keep losing more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a second here, a second there. It's more like a nuisance rather than like an actual danger.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and it's like it's because I guess we have so much health, right? You can actually get the little like annoyances, right, can kind of pile up, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this thing hit me, just like that Stalfos, right? That was basically pestering Spleebie the entire time. He just wanted him to like get out of the way, but it's just like you're probably more annoyed at the time loss as opposed to the actual damage.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's one room after you get the hook shot that you kind of want to have beams for if the jelly is shocking, but that's like a 13 seconds time loss instead of like anything else. So it's like the beams are like pure luxury, like once you're deeper into Swamp. So yeah, in that sense, it really just is about the time loss, like we were saying.
Yeah, actually, I mean, and also maybe kind of coupled with, with the fact that this is Swamp Palace, right? The shallow water also kind of slows down our dashing, so it's kind of like almost like an anti-speed dungeon, right? It's like we want to be able to go fast, use the full power of the boots, but if we actually dash through shallow water, which we don't have a choice, by the way, to avoid, it's just kind of like a naturally slower dungeon.
Yeah.
So,
and everything drags on. It's like it's one of the longest dungeons. It's like the longest cutscene. It's like everything is like
exactly,
somewhat slow.
It's the longest large talk on the Crystal cutscene. You're exactly right. It's like 55 seconds, something like that. It's long.
Yeah, 55. All right, Shady is making his way over to Argus. I think he has been learning the quick kill.
Okay.
We're gonna see if he gets the zero cycle. It's like a 5-6 second time save, so it is pretty relevant, but it's a really hard trick.
Alright, looks like
off. Okay, he dropped it.
It was a good start. Yeah,
but that's a good part about the strat though. Like as long as you get a couple of puffs, and then even if you drop it, like you don't lose any time over just going for just slashes. So it's always worth going for it as long as you like get a couple of puffs and don't get destroyed too badly.
Yeah, looks like also Shady is gonna opt to do the 2-spin method for phase 2. You know, some people I think like to switch over to the fire rod, get 2 shots in, and then do a spin to take down Argus. But two spins is definitely very consistent.
Yeah, there's a couple of top runners who still go for it. It's for the 2 spins anyway, who feel that the fire rod shots are a little bit too inconsistent, and yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. All right. Spleebie also starting his 0 cycle. Can he recover? It looks like probably not.
I also got a couple of fast movements. He does go for the fire rod kill here though. Oh no! This is exactly why.
Yeah. Oh my! Wait, did the first one not hit or something? I thought it maybe
the first
landed.
one was a poke.
Oh my gosh, that is so sad. Oh. All right, well, so yep, this is even I think Blaine, a 123 runner does do the double spin. This is good reason. Also, the fact that Shady, also, I think you also mentioned this again, earlier, Ari, with difference between Temper Sword and Master Sword. We're just like, let's just not talk about, Master Sword versus Temper Sword for Argus. Like, the fact that, Shady was able to basically pull one puff and then slash once to kill it is actually quite a nice time save. With only Master Sword, the puffs don't die in one shot, so it's, you're gonna have to be slashing a lot, which definitely, adds up.
It's a huge difference. No, Shady's stuck. Okay.
Alright. Okay, the rocks just kind of jump out at you from nowhere, and nobody knows, that like what to do in that situation.
Yeah, why don't they just move out of the way? They see Link's coming.
Exactly.
Alright, no dead rock on the bridge, so Shady can get his ether without any further issues.
Yeah, this is actually really good. I think sounds like Spleebie's looking to do similar things, but yeah, this is also one of the, as you mentioned, biggest risks, right, of getting ether in the not swamp split. Is in this case, can't really control the RNG, with dead rocks and all the boulders, and so always nice to be able to see coming out unscathed. Oh my, dang it, crab. This is
Oh, Spleebie with the double hook!
Oh my gosh! No, Shady! Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
That crab was coming for him.
Dad! Oh my gosh! Are we in bomb danger? Like, Ari, on Spleebie's side or on Shady's side?
No, like having no bombs in Myra is okay as long as you don't feel spooky. Like you only need the next bomb theoretically in Ganon's tower, and there's like one in the front of Turtle Rock that you can pick up, or in the back of Turtle Rock if you want it there instead.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest like danger right now, like even if Shady like has one of the bomb slugs in the way, he can just slash in and get a bomb from that if he really needs to. Depending on some RNGs. It's just the biggest risk is that he's down 2 hearts, and we just need to hope that he doesn't take any further damage and then is too low for Vidi.
Right, yeah, right. You mentioned this kind of going to Meyer, like, right. So health is a commodity. You know, so the best case scenario is kind of what we're seeing on Spleebie's side, right? Is that you come into Meyer with full health because, of course, not only with full health, you get sword beams for this technically second room in Meyer. A lot of really nice fast drafts to be able to kill it first time, but Shady's gonna do a backup with the fire rod. Sword beams, of course, are always really feel great used as projectiles. But in this case, fire will have to make do, and also a little bit slower just because you have to kind of sit through that burning animation, which of course beams don't, you know, have that effect.
Yeah, he did pick up a backup heart just for safety. Oh, Spleebie gets a really good RNG here too.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, you can basically see like, you know, kind of like the difference right here. But yeah, also, you know, so this is your Maya. So we're actually finally down to the correct quote-unquote chronological ordering now. Like, we've done all 5 dungeons before the 6th crystal dungeon. But again, Meyer is, because it's an endgame dungeon, the prize from Ice Palace is technically the Blue Mail. Does have all of the damage, you know, from all the enemies. And so the game is like, well, so you have all this really great defense, but we can't make the rest of the game too easy, so let's just bump up the damage, you know, from all the enemies for the rest of the game. And so everything now hits like 4 hearts, right?
Yeah.
So extra health is going to be very important. Like that bomb slug right there, it does 4 hearts of damage.
Yeah, you need to be really careful. Like the Wizrobes, the bomb slugs, Vidi himself, yeah, everything is ramped up. We did see Shady like even go out of his way to kill one of the bomb slugs in order to get the bombs. So he'll be okay. Like even if Spooky goes wrong, it's probably worth it to just do that as a backup. Spleebie got the 4-drop involuntarily, so he's just gonna have to drop a couple extra in Ganon's tower once he gets there.
And of course, we both hope that they don't end up getting the cursed like 8 bomb pack. You know, you definitely want the fairy. 20 rupees is fine. Full magic is also good. You just don't want anything else that kind of comes afterwards. But yeah, also you mentioned, right, the Shady doing the backup in order to get the, well, I mean, killing a bomb slug in order to guarantee himself 4 bombs. Also kind of like heads up play, especially in a race setting, right? And you mentioned, you know, if you don't fail Spooky, everything's fine. This is a PB attempt. Fail Spooky, you know, maybe you're a little bit sad. You can reset, you can finish the run. Well, in a race setting, you know, unless you can guarantee Spleebie doing the exact same thing, you probably want to make sure that you can get through the dungeon.
Yeah, like, if you have to bomb the wall and stuff, it's like, okay, that's a 20-second time loss, but, like, I have a little bit of a buffer. If you need to...
Yeah, exactly.
If you need to mirror out and set everything up again, then, yeah, okay, then we're gonna be a bit sadder, and we're gonna need to make up a lot of time in Turtle Rock and GT. And, yeah, you definitely don't want the race to come down to that.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, for anyone who just jumped in, like, the race looks super close right now, like it's only a couple rooms apart, but Spleebie does need to get the Ice Rod in the next split, so there's like about still 45-50 second difference between the 2 runners.
Yeah, and looks like also, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the Shady gonna try and do Spooky. I think he does have it set up. Also going into Vitreous, hopefully with a actually good amount of health as well. Spleebie also in pretty good condition.
Yeah, they have health to spare, luckily. So even if they linger in the goo a little bit, they'll be okay.
Yeah. Also, of course, you know, yeah, Shady also demonstrating for us who needs bombs. You know, but of course, it's really good, you know, mentally in order to have those 4 bombs, just in case something goes wrong. Don't want to be thinking about anything or having anything distract you.
Oh yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is why we want the buffer.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's okay. That's why we have extra arrows.
Holy frick, dude.
I'm okay.
Alright, okay. You know, alright, so Spleebie, what a nice clean textbook fight on his side.
Yeah. No worries at all. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Shady is just not having any troubles with bosses at all today. First Moth, now Vidi. Alright, let's go.
Yeah. We survived. And as you said, the most important thing is if we don't die to bosses. You know, he didn't die to Mothula. Thank you, Sankart. I guess he technically didn't have an impact on Sankart having a Vitreous, because I think everything did probably 2 hearts of damage at least, but holy cow. Shady survived. That was the most important part.
Yeah, that was...
Nobody was worried.
No, not at all. But yeah, Go back to Spooky. Like, just having the bombs is just a good... The confidence boost is, like, is as important as just performing it well. Like, just not having to worry about it, just not... Yeah, it just helps somehow.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, saying, like, I've done this so many times, but then it's, you know, it's like, if you end up starting to think about it, like, oh no, like, what if I fail? Even though chances are it won't happen, it's just, like, another needless distraction for yourself. And, like, for something like that, especially if you, again, have something extra, like, the effects of something like that can actually be kind of unpredictable. Like, maybe that's the thing that actually causes you to fail.
Yeah, exactly. It's very easy to just second guess yourself, like, okay, I'm not allowed to fail it this time, and then
exactly, yeah.
So you will it into existence somehow.
All right, so yeah, this is the difference that you mentioned earlier. Spleebie does have, in this case, got his Ice Rod. He comes out, you know, didn't get crabbed. He's gonna be able to at least go up to Death Mountain with full health.
Yeah, looks to be about a 45-second difference right now. So that's still, like, it's gonna be hard for Spleebie to catch it up without something happening, but, like, yeah, he definitely has the opportunity to... Wow, look at that Waffle House.
I know, and you're talking about, you know, Spleebie needing some opportunities to catch up. That is a great start.
Okay, it does go for the greedy dash there, but reacts in time. Alright, I didn't see! Okay, the quick warp was free! It was free! Let's go! Alright, can we get the 2 out of 2, Spleebie?
Yeah, Shady, I mean, he just... It's so easy. Just get the quick warp.
Okay, friendly death rocks on this screen for Spleebie. Let's go.
Yeah. So, right, hoping nothing happens here.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Spleebie's gonna be able to go into Turtle Rock with beams, and which means, in this case, like, these Baris, assuming they kind of stay in Spleebie's path, unlike the ones that are basically, you know, playing social distance to Shady, he's gonna be able to take care of them.
I'm so proud of these runs.
I know, they're so good. This is the finals. I mean, these guys are 3-0. Very, you know, within the realm of expectation, but really cool to see.
And Shady got the hook on the torch, so he's actually saving time over my PB here.
Oh really? Here we go! Alright, looks like also Shady probably gonna do something similar to Spleebie as well. Damage boost is off of the roller. We actually do see that, you know, again, everything hits very hard here in Turtle Rock. 3 hearts, you know, but of course, thanks to our awesome planning, all that we did all the way, 45 minutes ago in Castle Tower, because in this case, we're gonna try and get a fairy drop off of the Pokies. We get the hearts. Hopefully, fairy drop is gonna come.
Hey, okay, that's all good. Like Shady probably should have gone to the right immediately instead of like trying to brute force the left, but it worked out. It's just a little bit of a time loss. Oh
no.
Okay, this is fine.
Okay, like, yeah, really good recovery.
Yeah, he's only on -7, so a fairy still gets him to full, so he's okay in that sense. I think he didn't get a hard drop on Hammer yet, but I'm not exactly sure.
No, it's right. The mini helmet actually lived on Spleebie's side, so definitely no heart there. We also did see the heart, I guess, dropping the Poke on Shady's side as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so they're both on the fairy drop right now. Oh, this is really rough RNG on Spleebie's side.
Oh my gosh.
But...
Oh no!
Okay, this is...
Everything's fine. Spleebie is a survivor, man. Like, he knows how to do things.
Yeah. Alright. Now he kind of hopes for not bottom left Poke 1 RNG. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Shady's just comfy on beams right now, so as long as he's able to keep it, he's able to save some magic as well, so he doesn't have to worry about any of that past Pokies too. So we'll see what kind of RNG he gets now. There's a 1 in 16 chance that you get to save like 4 seconds in this room.
Yeah, that is the dream. Unfortunately, that dream is not today.
Okay, he does get the 8-pack as well, so we're stocked up on bombs, which we don't really want. But alas, it's better than, you know, the alternative, which is not being able to progress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he also did get the big magic, you know, and again, full magic bar is really nice. Also looks like Spleebie. I didn't actually quite catch it if he actually got it, but he did at least get the fairy drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as you mentioned, like for what it's worth, like I don't think you technically need the full magic drop, but it certainly does make things, you know, much more comfortable here in the late part of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's all just a confidence boost. Okay, well, Spleebie also gets the yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, well, you know what? That ape bomb pack I think is worth, you know, the sacrifice in order to pick it up if you're gonna get god pokies like that. That is a really nice time save.
Yeah, it's like the semi-fast RNG. Like you get to skip a part of the rotor section. It's not the fastest RNG, but it's still like a solid couple seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, what a bop on Shady's side. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just moved up. Just didn't move up high enough, but I mean, you got ported back to the start of the room, so it's not that much of a time loss. He wants the arrow so bad.
Wow.
All right. Oh,
okay. How did he not get hit on the pokies? I don't understand. Like, Shady must be a ninja, or maybe he just has the cape on. We just, you know, can't see it. Like, I swore like there were some overlapping pixels between the Pokey and Link.
He also fell, but he didn't want to fall there.
Oh no! Oh wow! Holy.
Okay.
We got some great laser bridge parties going on Shady and Spleebie's side. Oh my god, Spleebie gaming. How did he? The fact that he even outmaneuvered that beetle and didn't get hit by the laser is very, very impressive.
Okay. Well, I'm like.
That magic is happening in the back of Turtle Rock, Eric. I think we just don't know like how these guys are pulling it off.
Yeah, I don't think that either runner really like extended or caught up a little bit. These were some parties.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, I don't want to commentator's curse anything. I think that both runners just made it out of Turtle Rock just fine. Okay, this all looks good. Cool. Alright.
Yeah, the Trinex fight is really just like the wind down, cool down part of the evening, you know? It's, you know, they're going home at like, you know, 2 a.m., just ready to, you know, kind of, you know, do their normal nighttime routines, right? It's just kind of like, you know, just settling themselves down.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything's good. And right, and you know, afterwards, there's no more places where things could possibly go wrong.
No. Again, Tower is the easiest dungeon in the game. There's like no execution involved at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like about 45 seconds difference, so it's Shady still has a comfortable lead, but yeah, you never know what happens in these two splits. Like, of course, Ganon RNG is still a thing as well. It's not likely going to be a 40-second difference when it comes to RNG. You're not very likely to see 20 warps versus 0 or something.
Yeah, but you know,
yeah, you want to keep the lead like severe enough so that RNG cannot realistically like bridge the gap.
Yeah, but I mean, but as you said, GT, right? So, kind of the previous dungeon, you know, sometimes, in this case, like, if you know, kind of get like, let's say, like nicked here, dinged there, like for example, Swamp Palace, right? You're probably kind of more annoyed about like the time loss, but you know, the damage themselves from the enemies don't really do too much, you know, so you're not probably too worried about dying. Kind of on the flip side, you can go pick something like Ice Palace, Mire, Turtle Rock, right, where you only can afford yourself a couple of hits before you actually just have to redo the dungeon. Ganon's Tower is actually, you know, depending on who you ask, the best or worst of both worlds. A lot of damage boosting, or you know, maybe you get nicked and dimed here, but it turns out in this case, when you do get hit, it actually can be pretty, you know, significant. And then before you know it, for example, for the gauntlet, suddenly, you know, you're maybe walking out of the gauntlet with 1 or 2 hearts left for the rest of the game, and it's no longer comfortable.
Yeah, usually for GT, it's just like a severe version of Swamp Palace, where it's just like the time lost, like the health doesn't matter too much. Except then you also need to do Ganon with that hard count, and that usually becomes the problem. And Ganon is a very dangerous fight, no matter like how much health you have. Not having any hits left to take definitely makes the fight a lot rougher. So we're gonna try to stay as full as we can. Okay, Okay, let's see if both the runners. Yeah, that's the menu issue. If you can't just press up, then you're like, how do I get to the bow and arrows? But yeah, Shady has 30 arrows. He's probably able to just skip all the chests here and be okay.
Yeah, the 10 arrow drop from what the heck was even in that switch room in Turtle Rock? Basically, like he went back for him and definitely got a lot of nice arrows. Yeah, so he's probably gonna be able to even skip the arrows. Yeah, he's going straight up.
Yeah.
Spleebie really not far behind though.
No, I think it's still around the 40-something mark. But he still needs to grab the extra arrows as well after Ice Armors. This is a small difference. Okay, some execution heavy rooms coming up on Shady's side here. Nice extra 10 arrow drop as well. Might as well pick them up.
Yeah. Never hurts to have a little bit more, projectiles going up the gauntlet, right? I mean, Shady, I guess without the 10 arrow drop, he would have had 2. Certainly, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, I don't think you technically need any more arrows after this, but it's just really nice to be able to, like, snipe an enemy here and there, especially if they're kind of, like, straying from your path.
Yeah, I think you'd like just a 2 minimum for G1. Okay. And then it's, like, pure luxury, depending on what kind of strats you do. Okay, a little bop here, but does manage to get through into the gauntlet.
Yeah, didn't get knocked off, which is also really good to see, knocking off, again, not probably too much in terms of, like, damage, or, like, health, but it's like, you have to get knocked off, you are not running to the back of the beginning of the screen, you're kind of, like, being teleported pretty slowly, yeah, you're not happy about the time loss.
Nice strat there from Shady, menuing to the fire rod in order to be able to snipe.
Yeah.
Snipe that Sasek, got some magic as well.
Yeah, good, and well-behaved as well.
Yeah, very nice gauntlet at Shady's side. That definitely keeps his lead intact. Let's see if we can get a 1 cycle here on the Lamos. Okay, that's solid RNG, that's nice.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, man. And this is quite the contrast from, I guess, like, their first Lamos fight, right? They didn't really behave all that well, but this time, very, very friendly.
Yeah, this is a very good GT on Shady's side, like, especially, like, since Ice Armors, it's just been very, very clean.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Spleebie is just taking a hit here and there, have small issues.
Yeah, I mean, and these things add up, right? Think about, oh man, I'm going again as tower again. I have 14 hearts, but again, these things do hit quite a bit.
Yeah.
Nice dash, though. Yeah, in order to get the 3-5.
Yeah, very good. Being able to save a magic shot as well. Like, Shady needs to pick up some magic here. And that's like the extra shot that Spleebie saved. But he also didn't get the hit in, so he just would have saved it anyway. It's not too bad of a 2 cycle, it only loses like 2 seconds. And that bonk is another 70 frames. Yeah.
It's a little bit early, a bit too eager in order to get to the door. No worries, though.
Look at Shady's health. He has 11
hearts.
I
know. This is like unreal. He can take a whole Ganon hug and still survive.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. It's gonna go for the chest key right here. Very nice. Then yeah, like, I don't want to jinx it, but he's gold pace going into Molten 2.
Oh, dude. Alright. Oh my gosh, talk about getting unlucky with, oh my gosh, for Spleebie. So I think he ended up getting frame ruled, which basically meant that he got hit instead of the guards getting hit, and so I think he just messed up everything on that bridge.
Yeah, he's gotten some rough RNG as well, and like, there's a couple of pixels where you can stand where it's like almost guaranteed that you don't get frame ruled, but there's no pixel that is 100% safe, and that's the rough part about that bridge. Sometimes you just get screwed and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that just... Oh.
Alright, Shady, can you get the free cycle for the gold? That's the big question. This is that's a little bit of a rough pattern. He goes for the spin for maybe like a 2-hit. Yeah, I think that counted as
2
one.
or was that 1?
I think it counted as 1. These are some rough patterns. Oh, that's not a sword.
Yeah. I was like, is this new tech that I'm not familiar with? Oh my gosh. Alright, so that might be 2 hits so far. But yeah, as you were saying, these patterns are just not friendly. Oh, nice triple though.
Nice triple though, but yeah. But sadly, the first cycle only counted as 1. That's really rough.
I do appreciate the time save on Spleebie's part. I believe, he completely bypassed Moldorm and just hovered his way right on through.
Yeah, nice time save. I mean, it's probably what he needs. Yeah, like, it's rough. Like, maybe if he can get like a 2 or 3 cycle, he can make up enough time. That's maybe like a missed torch glitch or something matters. But at this point, like, it's mostly out of his control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, missed torch clip, and again, I think you did mention earlier, you know, Ganon could still be pretty mean with the warps for phase 3 for RNG.
Yeah. Yeah, these are some rough patterns for Spleebie as well.
Yeah, I think he
But,
just needs one more, but yeah, these were not good.
Oh, 2 more even. Okay.
Or 2 more, okay.
But yeah, he actually only loses like 4 or 5 seconds over the course of this GT, which, considering like how many issues he was having with like little RNGs and stuff, that's still pretty good management.
Okay, looks like Shady. I didn't quite catch the first part of the Ganon fight, but this is definitely not a 1-on-1.
No, I'm not exactly sure what happened. Maybe he missed the cave spin. I was too focused on the amount of on the Agatu fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we start the warping.
All right, but I mean, still, this is good. This is a very, very close race. Shady, you know, starting his phase 3 versus Spleebie in this case, starting his phase 1 and 2. So he can certainly, Spleebie can save a little bit of time if he can get the 1-on-1 here with Tempered.
Yeah. Okay, so
like,
we're entering phase 4. Now it's all about the torch glitch. Yeah, you really don't want to go for the double spin right there. That's like really, really scary RNG. Oh, okay.
Wow. See,
I was flinching.
Yeah, I honestly thought that Shady, like, when he was on the menu screen for so long, I was like, okay, he'll probably switch to the lamp, you know, just, you know, again, to be extra safe. Then he still switched to the fire rod, and then the fire back came, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bad.
It was like halfway in between like the 2 common spots that you usually fire from. So yeah, that was scary. But yeah, he's gonna be on the cycle like after this. And he should be able to just clean up the fight from here. Yeah, Spleebie also not going for the double, but does get the torch glitch, but yeah. Man, Spleebie really did his best in order to make up the time.
Yeah, no, Spleebie has done a phenomenal job, you know, especially kind of given some of the situations he had. But wow, alright, so Shady though, everything's considered, he has finished up phase 4 faster than Spleebie has, along with, well, the rest of the game. Get your GGs out in chat for shadyforce, finishing with, let's see, an official time of something, 1:27:43?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he is our Light World winner, the one and undefeated Shadyforce, going 4-0.
Yeah, a very nice run and a very nice race. Spleebie just finishing up right here as well. Probably just lost a few hits. Oh, that was the last hit actually. And yeah, he, like after the Agate Tower Rupee incident, like he just tried his best to claw back, and it was just like small incidents here and there. But it was like such a nice race to watch.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, yeah, and get your G's on chat for Spleebie finishing up. I mean, he he really made his run in the Dark World, right? Like, and as you mentioned before, a couple of situations that happened in the Light World that kind of, at least, you know, I guess on the onset of the Dark World splits, maybe were a bit shaky, but I mean, he made up so much good time in the Dark World. 10 out of 10 moth fight. I mean, he had a really nice, you know, textbook vitreous fights. Lots of good execution going on. It just happened to be sometimes that he was also a little bit unlucky, which didn't quite get him like all the time save that he needed. Speaking of though, hi Shady, GG's on your Light World Division NMG League victory.
Yo Mouse, thanks very much. GG's to Spleebie.
Spleebie isn't quite here yet. Hopefully we can get him in here, but I think he might have also heard you. Thoughts about this run, Shady? Overall?
It was a decent enough Light World actually, and then only 4 blue balls. What a luxury! That's so nice, isn't it? Isn't that so cozy?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty illegal, but.
And then the Dark World was a bit of a rust bucket, to be honest. It was pretty sloppy in most places, but it was good enough given the gap I had. All I had to do was really not die anywhere, which I came a little close to in a few places, but it was mostly under control. So I just had to make sure I didn't have any big disasters, and it was probably going to be okay.
Yeah, looks like also we are joined by Spleebie. Spleebie, GG's a whole heck of a nice Dark World run.
Yeah, GG's, Shady.
GG gamer.
was rough.
Yeah, like, do you know what happened with regards to the tree repeats? Because I think that
It was
that was
the
the
bird dashing into Lost Woods. I dashed too far left, so the bird died off screen.
Yeah.
Which I knew can happen, and I thought it was close. And I thought about beaming the crab just in case, but didn't.
Yeah, I really feel like that was the main difference point. Like even just getting hit on the backup, that kind of like that was the main gap. Like the rest was just like just tossing small advantages back and forth, and everything was so evenly matched. But that was just so unfortunate that happened and caused such a big gap. But aside from that, you both like put up a great show, and it was really fun watching the amount of clenches that the both of you gave us. Like that end of Turtle Rock was quite something.
Dude, Shady, what happened on Mothula? Like, was that your intention to basically ram into him at the very end because you knew he only had one hit left to go? Or
well,
something?
I did know he had one hit, and it should have been like a 10 out of 10 moth fight. It started so well. I got the double hit, but then I fluffed the slash. Guess I was a little low, so I was like, "Oh, I'm slashing him here." So I walk face tank into the beam and slash him, and then I just did the same. I had 5 hearts. I could take 4 hearts of damage.
Yeah,
it was a little.
Hard.
Yeah. It was a little scary, but that was kind of under control because I knew I could take the hit, which I did, and then get the kill. So it seemed scary, but I don't think it was as bad as... I've had worse, I've had more clench mod fights, really.
Yeah,
I was lucky to avoid the bad fire snake. Sorry, Ari, to cut you off. I was lucky to avoid the bad fire snake RNG at the start to read that in time, because if I was down to 4 hearts, then I can't do that, and it's a lot worse of a fight. I have to be super careful, and I'll lose loads of time.
Yeah, and those situations just always feel a lot scarier than they maybe are in race situations.
Yeah, it was kind of the same in the Vidi fight. Like, obviously I missed... I got the sword eaten on me or something, or I was really speed a bit too early. But because I know I have the extra health in this particular category, I just kind of have to not panic and just make sure I go in nice and wide and get a few spins and just avoid the lightning. So it's off script, but it's an off script in a way that I've been in a lot of times before, so I'm kind of used to it. It's a lot less forgiving in like vanilla preset where you have much lower health there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it just looked a little scary because like on the right side when you moved in, like one of the eyes was just about to move and you almost clipped it and was like, I don't know, I was a little bit scared. But yeah, you were just able to, for the most part, clean stuff up very, very neatly. And yeah, like you finished off so strongly with that GT2, like gold pace going into Aga 2. That was really nice to see.
Yeah, I had a really nice gauntlet actually. I felt really good about that. Aga 2, I hook shot it instead of sworded at one point. I fat thumbed the Y button.
Oh, that's what happened.
That's what happened. I fat thumbed the Y button, so I hook invulnerability instead of slashed the lightning back at him. But it was all right.
It's okay. It was all done for science. You did definitively prove that the hookshot does nothing against Aga.
Well, yeah, you got to try it out.
Were either of you like aware of the race situation like throughout the race, or were you just doing your own thing?
Yeah, I had the restream up.
Yeah, I would look at every cutscene or maybe mid-split if there was a bit of a gap. I would bring it up to see where I am. I think it's very important to see where you are in a race to know what you could do, because if it was closer or Spleebie was ahead, I would have had to be less careful and a bit more aggressive in the various places in the Dark World. So in certain places I was just damage control and make sure I don't have a big disaster. And I knew that was going to be enough, so that's what I did. But you only get that because of the knowledge of having this restream up.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I wouldn't have done the hover on Moldorm 2, and I would have gotten more than 19 arrows for Ice Armos if I knew I was ahead.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But I was like, we just gotta have a good Ice Armos or bust. So
I very much appreciate the chest turns. I know that all those frames though added up.
Yeah, we got to take out the frames lost and losing.
Exactly.
Those don't count.
I've never chest turned the Dark Cross chest in Escape before. That was completely accidental.
Oh, that's a fun one.
That's brilliant. Never actually tried that one. Like the only one I actually try is like the Swamp Battle's Big Key. But
all the darkroom ones are fun because the light cone changes, like you get the huge visual for it.
Well, that's like just a huge info game during the small wait. Yeah, that's pretty smart. But yeah, were there any like highlights throughout the run that either of you are particularly proud of during the run?
There was definitely places I thought I played well, but I can't remember them right now. I felt like my general play was good, and it was just some small mistakes ruining splits. Like in GT, I was very happy with a general play in GT, and it was basically just Aga 2 that cost a huge gold.
Yeah, nothing huge sticking out for me. Scrolling back through my splits, and it's like, well, they're all red, so.
Oh yeah, Hera was very nice for me. Like I had the massive double menu mistake in the lobby in Hera, but everything else was great. And like I'm only +6 on gold, so like that must have been a decent enough split as well. Which is rare. Like it's very rare to have a good Hera.
Yeah, I think like a couple hits on. Oh, actually, your model was really good. It was just like a little sketchy that you went for some horizontal dashes.
Some of them I was thinking I could go into the middle pit here, but I got away with them.
Yeah, but you had so much health going into like the top of Hera. That was like never happens.
I've never carried that much health at Moldrum before. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to think though. Like, I think Spleebie, like your overall Dark World was just very, very solid, right? Because especially, right. So I think at least going into Dark World, Shady got 4 blue balls. You were also down a blue ball deficit. But then also like you clawed back like quite a bit of time. So I think you really did game in general in Dark World. So.
Thanks. Didn't feel like it, but yeah.
I guess so. I guess I should ask. So this is actually like the end of the NMG League. I can't believe 4 weeks has already gone by. At least for Light World, you guys also, coincidence or not, it's also the final game of the Light World division. Thoughts about your experiences during the league? Maybe looking forward to next season. Did things go okay this season? Did you guys have a good time?
I had a with this. Sorry,
go ahead, Spleebie.
Fine. I had a great time. I haven't done any NMG races before League here. I just started doing speedruns regularly almost a year ago. I started doing an NMG Thursday night where normally I play. You guys talked at the beginning, but normally I do play rando a lot. Really started focusing on this about a year ago, and League came up, and I tried to get a PB good enough to get in, and got it. So. It's been really fun.
You've improved so much over the past few months for what I've seen, and even during a couple of the races, you were like pretty big PB pace. So yeah, definitely looking for. Like, are you going to continue? Like, just gonna grind your time down?
Every NMG Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can join a weekly here and there as well.
yeah, I might try to join a weekly, because racing has been real fun. So.
Yeah, I think there's a weekly coming up in like 20 minutes.
Maybe not today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so different from rando racing. Like being able to listen to the restream, look at your opponent, decide what strats you're going for. Like, it's really cool. So.
Yeah, it's definitely the best part. Like, it's a lot more social because you're kind of chatting with people in chat, or at least reading what they're writing and stuff. And it's just. Rando's very isolating, and these speedrun races are a lot more fun, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah, definitely agreeing. But yeah, it's great having both of you. Like, Shady, are you just gonna move back to vanilla preset for now, or?
Well, I might do the odd NMG run, but with MSU as well. I might mix that in every now and then.
Fair enough.
But I guess the 125 is gonna have to wait for the next tourney, maybe when I'm grinding for the next tournament.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, maybe other categories as well, or just NMG mostly for now, 90%.
Yeah, like all dungeons has been kind of ruined these days. People don't mind me saying. It's gotten a bit crazy.
The new all dungeons route is a lot of fun. Not the Yuzu route, but the
right.
other
Okay,
one.
yeah. But I have been meaning to learn one of the any percent routes at some point. I think that would be fun, any percent or MG. But I just haven't got around to it. But that'd be cool. Like going up 6 hearts gauntlet, like it seems like a lot of fun. It'll feel like a spoiler log race, you know.
I was just gonna
It's a lot better now that we don't have to mirror jump.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine that.
I'll just have to figure out if I want to do like a hookshot route or whether I want to route in some bombs and try and Moldorm bounce at the top.
We'll play Apfidoc for that trick.
Yeah, but this was a ton of fun. I mean, and thank you guys so much, for racing. Shady and Spleebie, always. I mean, I think this was a great race. You guys put on some really nice performances. I guess maybe just a last matter of business. Shady, you are the 4-0, quote unquote winner of the Light World division. I don't know what the logistics are, but I believe you also have a $25 credit applied to the charity of your choice. Whenever I guess you decide to do that, probably you can talk to Fox.
Yeah, that's right. Like I only was reminded of it like an hour ago. I think I saw it mentioned somewhere on the ZSR description. Otherwise, I would have had my charity picked out. I don't know who I wanted to give it to yet, so I'll have to sort that out. Do a little bit of research, and then I'll get on the buzzer with Fox. Sorry, I don't have like the answer right now because I was only reminded an hour ago.
I've been thinking for weeks now, and I still don't exactly know. So I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Right. So Light World winner gets $25, and then I guess like Dark World finalist, right? I think first whoever wins gets $50 applied, and then whoever I guess like and then their opponent gets $25. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Think about it, Ari. You have a choice either way.
Yeah. Once again. Yeah, thank you so much, Shady and Spleebie. Was a great show. Hope to keep seeing you around.
Thank you so much for the
100%.
commentary.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it back. I had you guys muted because the audio would distract too much, but I'll definitely. I'm sorry, Mouse. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No. I'm only joking.
But I'll definitely watch it back, and then I'll give you feedback, Mouse. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks, Shady. Honestly, like, I think, Ari, you might be one of the only people I know that actually can listen to, like, commentary, like, while you're racing. Like, I honestly don't know how you do this, because I think especially on the restream, it's a little bit delayed as well. And so, it's just, like, I don't know how that doesn't distract you, like...
Oh, I had the audio up.
Oh, did you really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's some distraction that I need. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun.
I suppose you get used to it. I would find it's the game sound that would put me off, because I would hear different game sounds than what's going on in my game. If it was just soundtrack or something, and just your voices, that probably wouldn't be a problem for me.
Yeah, I have to turn it down enough that I can't hear the game sound very well, or else it's too distracting.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Luckily, they usually make the commentators louder than the game, so...
Yeah. Like, usually it's not too much of a deal.
Yeah. It's great, like, hearing you react to something, 30 seconds after it happens. And then be like, oh, don't forget this. And I'm like, that was, like, 10 minutes ago,
Yeah. Sometimes it's
way
kind of
too
hard
late.
to know, like, exactly how long ago it was. But, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, thank you so much.
No, really do appreciate it. You guys are the stars of the show, so just really happy to be able to commentate for you guys. Ari, thank you so much. This was a ton of fun. Definitely, looking forward to the next time.
Yeah, for sure.
And good luck, of course, for your also like the Dark World finals. I'm not actually sure when that's actually going to be scheduled, but I think it's kind of like a TBD. Maybe sometime next week.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if the controller has been sent out, so I still need to wait for that. But I hope it doesn't take too long, because I don't want to keep Doom / Fox / the rest of the admins waiting. Like, kind of feels bad, but yeah.
I mean, if it's only like a little bit of extra time, I mean, like for certain, like you versus Doom Tab is going to be a really exciting race to watch. So I believe it's going to be worth the wait. And yeah, sorry about the controller. But yeah, and thank you guys so much again. I want to say thank you so much to Psychonaut for restreaming this and picking this up. I know that Sunday afternoon especially is a very busy time for CSR, so really glad that you guys can actually make the time for us. And also did a great job, I think, on the restream. I didn't see anything going wrong, so thank you so much.
Hey, we're happy to be here. We're always happy to put on the NMG League. There's been some great matches over the past couple of weeks, and it's been a pleasure for us to host them. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here on ZSR. Thank you so much to Clearmouse and to Airy. I'm not going to butcher the name this time for the excellent commentary. Chat, make sure you're following them if you're not already. All the information you need is in the chat room there. And of course, GG's to both shadyforce and the Spleebie for the excellent race. Make sure you're following them as well. As Clearmouse has alluded to, it's a pretty busy time for us here at Zelda Speedruns. Tournament season is very much in the middle of things around here, including tonight we have a Link to the Past randomizer casual boots tournament Group AA tiebreaker between Adalord, the Daddy Gamers, and Taylin 116. That's happening at 9 o'clock Eastern right here on Zelda Speedruns. We also have our continuing coverage of the Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 2 tournament and the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 5 tournament. Everything going on there. All the information you need will be on the schedule if you'd like to check it out. And hey, if you're new around here, maybe give us a follow. It really helps us out and it helps you to keep up to date for when we're going live. For the moment, though, we are going to send you all over to Zelda Speedruns 2 for the Majora's Mask Randomizer Standard Tourney Round 1 match between Boo and Chastifer. So be sure to get over there, be sure to show them your love. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Psychonaut, and have a fantastic rest of your time zone. Bye-bye now.